All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the moment you've all been waiting for. The rock stars have arrived. So you know what to do. When I say DDE, what do you say? A little bit louder. When I say DDE, you say? DDE! DDE! DDE!
Let's get him on. Dave!
Listen, you guys are going to be on the channel. Well, technically today is DE.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to grab a mic? Mic number 3.
My own microphone, that's dangerous. Unfortunately, Damon has what we call a man cold, which is the worst illness possible. Jokes aside, he got the flu and body aches and fever, and he's out. He feels really bad. He texts me. He wishes he could be here, but he's so sick he can't do it. So I will be here on behalf of both of us. I hope that's okay. All right, we got that out of the way.
I think they're fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly acceptable. So the first question is, in DDE, are you the first D or the second D?
Well, here's how it started. So Damon, my business partner, who started DDE back in like 2012, always wanted to daily drive an exotic car. So the name DDE came from just that. I came in a few years later. But I would say Damon's definitely the crazier one. I'm the good balance in the middle. So he has a really bad idea, and I'll be like, or sometimes we reverse it, actually. Lately, he's like, okay, Dave, let's bring it down a little bit. But originally, it was just Damon, and as my best friend from way back in the day, gave me a chance to join the channel. And I was working at Starbucks at the time. I was 35 years old. And he says, hey, do you want to come make YouTube videos? And I was like, that sounds fun. And literally, I think the first day, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. Like, this makes sense. I quit my job, lived off my credit card for 6 months, started going to LA making YouTube videos, and then here we are today. And it is overwhelming when we travel to parts of the world, like here in the UK and when we were in the Middle East on Gumball, how many fans we have that know so much about us, and they're so friendly and have offered us so much help. I had a car break down in the middle of nowhere. Someone drives by wearing a DD hat saying, hey, do you want some help? Because when you make YouTube videos, you see views on the screen. It's analytics. It's how we make our money. It's how we pay our bills. You don't realize that, you know, our average video today gets 600,000 views. That's 600,000 people. Like, how many people are here today? Well. 10,000? Like, comprehend that number. Yeah. It's crazy, and it's crazy humbling.
Yeah. We did the European rally with Gumball last year. I can't remember where it was, but your car broke down at the bottom, and everyone who were waiting to see you helped push that car up the hill.
The car broke every single day. And by the way, in case you're wondering, exclusive to you guys right now, we have a new transmission in the car. It's getting loaded into a container next week to Vietnam. So the SVJ will be on Gumball.
Okay.
Woo! I think we're all happy about that.
And we hope. We drove it for 20 minutes. Okay, it's good to go. It's getting wrapped and it's gone. So if anybody here lives in Southeast Asia, we might need your help.
You have plenty of that for sure.
So you've recently moved into a new unit, Old Hoonigan HQ. Tell me about that transition, because that was a huge step up for you guys.
It was, Damon and I will often just dive in based on gut and instinct. So we had a problem with our current shop. Basically, without getting too into the details, when we released it, they didn't get the city to check it. We're in California, where there's a rule for everything. So they had to replace some stuff in the building, be down for a few months. Well, that doesn't work for us. We need a new HQ. By chance, a friend of ours from Hoonigan, former Hoonigan now, when he was there at the time, was like, hey, the building's up for sublease. Do you want it? You should go look at it. And it's 30,000 square feet. I mean, it's beyond what we need, but it had a parking lot attached to it, where in that area of Compton, there's not any real bylaws around noise. So we could have 50,000 square feet to do donuts and have fun in the back parking lot. That's why we wanted it. We had about 4 days to make a decision. I had to pay a year up front rent because I'm Canadian. I don't have a presence in the US. So we basically took our rent and 5x the cost. And now we're in this building. If you guys watch the channel, you know, we use about 10% of it. So we're trying to figure out what is it we're going to use the building for. And originally the idea of an HQ was to build cars. Now it's community. Now I want to have like a coffee shop, a merch store. I want it to be like the mecca for all things car culture in Los Angeles, because prior to COVID, I can make one phone call, have 20 cars come out and go for a drive. It's really changed. So Damon and I now want to use the resources we have and create that car culture in Los Angeles where, say, every Saturday, a massive cars and coffee that sets the pace for the weekend. So that's what it's morphing into. The challenge is that DDE is literally Damon and myself, a few editors, and a few Mike and Tim mechanics. We don't have assistants. We don't have PA. We have no help. So it's all on us. So trying to figure that out has been really challenging, but we're going to get it done.
Something I noticed is that people turn up at the HQ all the time, just random people, and you never turn anyone away. That's so unique. Most people find that frustrating. How on earth do you get anything done with that happening all the time?
You know, it's really hard. Even today when I got in my car, I probably said hi to, I don't know, 1,000 of you guys, and it was amazing. But I think when you realize that the only reason why I'm sitting here today is the people who watch the videos. Like, the business is operated off of views. So when someone takes the time, and our videos are 30 minutes long, so a lot of people every day give us half an hour of their day. That's a lot. So when they make the effort to come to the HQ, if we're there, we'll go say hi. And sometimes it's brief, sometimes it's quick, but I really appreciate every single person that's watching the videos, because not every video is the craziest video in the world. We daily upload, but we count on people supporting us. When maybe the video is like, hey, we're sitting around the shop, and the next video is something crazy, but the continued support really helps. So we recognize that that one fan comes out. I had the opportunity right then to really give them that lifelong experience, because in their eyes, we're like the modern day, when I was a kid, like a movie star. And I've met celebrities before, and unfortunately, a lot of times, it kind of it's disappointing. They say, don't meet your hero. So for me, I'm like, if someone takes time to come to, say, the shop for that photo, how can I give them a 5-minute experience they'll remember forever and what they're expecting from DDE?
Speaking of uploading daily, is there anything that you've uploaded and it's just caught fire and you were surprised that that bit of content there was something that people really engaged with?
I had a video I did. My friend, you guys know Garrett, the GT3 RS, Garrett, the prisoner guy? Yeah, okay. So Garrett came to visit one time, and he had a purple RS, a GT3 RS. He parked it on a weird angle, and it got repossessed. There's a mix-up in the bank, and in America, they don't mess around with leasing exotic cars. They'll come grab your shit right away. So his car got repossessed, and the entire video looked so staged, and it was 100% real.
I thought it was staged.
It was 100% real. It had 200 million views on Facebook, and Garrett, when it happened, I was like, hey, Garrett, can I post this video? He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, are you sure? Because it might go viral. He's like, I don't care. The next day, he's like, bro. Like, he is in the most viral video we've ever done. So it surprised me it took off to that level. But I would say the biggest surprise I've had more across the board is our stories channel. So we have a behind-the-scenes channel. We film on an iPhone. Things like this are just day-to-day stuff. And there's videos of me at home with no cars talking about dealing with an insurance company, and people will watch that video. So it really speaks to that community we built and the support we have from our fans.
Yeah. I got a question about the SVJ. Now, that was stuck here in the UK, I believe, for a while. Yeah. And there was talks of you wanting to keep the car here so you could come back and forth and maybe do more stuff in Europe. Do you still have ambitions to do more stuff in Europe?
Oh, I got an idea. So the issue with the SVJ was to get insurance over here, they wanted a UK number plate. And obviously it's a Canadian car, came from LA, so it just was too complicated. But yesterday I had the idea, and I made a whole video on it, of buying cars to keep here. For a lot of reasons. Number one, we love you guys. We have so much support in the UK and all over Europe, and we love coming here because for us, it's a different experience. And you don't get that a lot when you do this every single day. So to come here, meet people, the roads look different, the environment's different. I personally really enjoy it. The audience loves it, and cars are half the price. So they are. In the UK, they're half the price. So I'm thinking we could take our money here and have twice as many cars. It's the same car, drives the same, steering wheel's on the other side, that's okay. So we're gonna look at buying a few cars to leave here and come back to the UK and do some more tours around here every 2-3 months, maybe more. Because if you guys don't know, Damon and I, we don't live in Los Angeles, we live in Canada. And what we do is we do a week on, a week off. For 7 years now, we live in a hotel, we fly down. So I could fly to LA, I could fly to London, we can fly wherever we want. It makes no difference for us. So why not have a real good community here, build cars here, do tours, do more meets. The car culture here is insane. Like yesterday at the event we went to, I couldn't believe there was an entire restaurant dedicated to the car culture. And it's really inspiring for back home. But yeah, to answer your question, we're gonna buy cars here and modify them here, and they'll stay here.
Amazing. If you had to bring one car out of your current collection over here.
Thank you.
Maybe you should open up a public-facing stuff as well, like a store here that people could go to.
Absolutely, let's do it. He's coming, you're coming.
If you had to take one of your current cars over here drive in European roads, which one would it be?
The rowdy crew here. They want the 599. I would go to jail if I brought the 599 here. No, mine's fixed. I broke Damon's. Mine's fine. Probably my Squadra Corsa.
I was going to suggest that, yeah.
And the reason behind that is that's the car that I will never sell. I know I sold it once. We broke up for a little bit, right? The grass wasn't green on the other side. I got it back, and now I want to mile it out and put on like 200,000 miles on that car. So I'd love to ship that car here just for the experience. The 599 would be fun, but you guys, it is so loud, and you can only drive it aggressively. And I don't know why. Like, I've been pretty tame. If you watch the channel, you know I'm pretty sensible. The 599 brings out the worst in me. Like, I am just a bad person in that car. So, yeah, maybe we'll bring it. We'll see.
I love that. I love that.
So we've done a few Gumball rallies together, and I think we can both agree that they are super fun. Equally, very intense at the same time. There's a lot that goes on that people don't see, and it's like, you know, those 8 days kind of feel very intense sometimes. Is there any other drivers that you spent time with where you were like, that is my friend for life, that is now family? And is there any other drivers that you're like, I never want to see that guy again? Or girl?
I would say I've built lifelong friendships on Gumball beyond any other event I've ever done, because when you spend a week together, and it's the trials and tribulations and the challenges. It's not easy. Gumball is not a luxury vacation. It's hard, especially in the fact that we're daily uploading a 30-minute video, which means every day I have to capture the moment, get the footage uploaded. Some hotels don't have great Wi-Fi. There's videos we'll watch me with a laptop on my lap with my phone back to the editor in Canada to make it happen. So there's all these challenges. Mr. JWW, really close friend of mine, awesome guy. Nico I met along the way. I don't know, he just shows up, but that's just Nico. We're not sure what he does. The team, honestly, like everybody that works for Gumball, the volunteers, the staff, Max, everybody, like really generally good people. And that's what really gravitated us coming back over and over. When you jive with people, it's a rare thing, especially at this level of what we do. And I have more friends here than anywhere else. It's crazy. So what I look forward to in the next one is meeting more friends, having more experiences. I don't have any enemies. I mean, as people you might not drive with, the best thing you can do in life is you just go, don't put your energy in that. Someone you're not getting along with, go on to the next person, have a good time. But I would say, yeah, Mr. JWW, Nico, I'm probably missing some names. Lee Bailey, if he's here right now, the sexiest man alive.
He is.
If he's here, you guys, make sure you let him know that. Beautiful man.
It's all love. Hey, listen, does anyone have any questions for Dave today? I mean, one at a time.
Nice questions. Negative. It's a negative number. Every month I owe the company like $1 million, I'm pretty sure by now.
All right, anyone want to come forward? He's got the hoodie.
Oh, he's excited.
He's got the hoodie and he's got a question. What's your name, my friend? Jake. Nice to meet you, Jake.
Might be very controversial, but have you got a part 2 to Steve? And I want to see it. I need to see that.
Can we talk about that a little bit or not?
I'll talk about that.
Yeah, please.
Come on, yeah.
Enlighten us.
First things first, you are dressed amazing. That hoodie, bar none. We try to film everything. So I was filming a video one day on this weird Aventador that was in my parking lot. And we had this mechanic, I won't say his name for legal reasons. And I was like, he's like, hey, my uncle has an Aventador that broke down. Can I change the battery here? And I was like, okay, sure. And we give a lot of trust to our team. Like, our team can use the shop, come by. It's like family. So this car's here, and all of a sudden, this car's still here. So I thought, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to film everything, because that's what we do. And there's a lot we don't show you guys. We film it all. End of the day, okay, is this content? Whatever. So I thought, we're going to investigate this in real time. And everything in that video, if you're lucky enough to see it before it got deleted, was in real time. And the tone changes. Part 2 is crazy. Part 2 is insane.
You see it?
The tone, have I seen it?
Need to see it.
Oh, you want to see it? Well, it changes. And all of a sudden, I'm like, whose car is this? Then I'm like, no, seriously, whose car is this? I'm like, is this car stolen? And it got crazier and crazier and crazier. Unfortunately, when I posted the original video, people thought it was fake. And there's a lot of negativity around that. And there's a lot of people saying you shouldn't have filmed it, yada, yada, yada. So we thought, you know what? We want to be transparent. We also want to serve the needs of our audience. If you guys don't like the content, I don't want to shove something down someone's throat they don't enjoy. So we thought, let's delete the video and say, hey, from now on, when things like that happen, we're just not going to share it. So as a result of that, we're not going to post part 2 to honor our word to our audience. But let's just say it is the great mystery, and it was absolutely crazy. And that's all I can say about that.
Cheers.
Fantastic. Any other questions? All right.
I feel like a politician answering that question.
What's your name? Zane, come in.
So Dave,
Yo.
even though your salary is in negative,
Yes.
we all know that. So what made you get into the cars? What made you get into cars?
Oh my goodness. So I grew up riding BMXs, as most car guys apparently do. And then when I got my first car, it changed everything. And back then, it was 2000, I bought a 1991 Acura Integra RS. And I put a nitrous kit in it in high school. And right away, I was like, absolutely love this. Now, I never dreamt about exotic cars because it was so far beyond affordability. So I was into the cars. I was friends with Damon at that time. And then this is before Facebook and Instagram and all that. So if you didn't talk to somebody every day, you lost track. You couldn't track their whereabouts like a creep on Instagram. So I didn't see him for 10 years. One day I am at a car show and there was a Gallardo there. And the plate said like no limit on it. And they're like, yeah, this guy off-roaded this car. I said, who off-roads a Lamborghini? Damon Fryer. And I'm like, oh, I know Damon. And right away I was like, how did he pull that off? And then the second you see an exotic car when you've never seen it before, it is such an experience. It's like romantic. Every angle, every part of it is so special. And right there in that moment, I was like, I want to have an exotic car. And I actually filmed driving one day. There was a guard that passed me. I was working at Starbucks, collared shirt, right? Following the rules, being polite, and I hated it. And a guy passed me, and I filmed it, and I put it on my Facebook saying that I'm going to have this car in 3 years. I don't know how or what was going to happen. This is before I started working with DDE. And then along the way, it worked out. And the month I said that, it actually happened. So I bought my manual Gallardo 3 years to the month for making that video. So they call that law of attraction. I put it in the universe, so that's what I want. And then I made sure that anything that made sense along the way, like the opportunity Damon gave me, I'm like, this is going to work. And I believed it 100%. So that's a long way of answering. I've always loved cars. I just never thought it was possible. And the lesson is that anything's possible, especially with the internet. Like there's so many opportunities to grow a business now, way more than 10, 20 years ago.
Dave.
Yes.
We all know you love cars, as you just said. What do you think about BMWs?
I had a passion for a BMW. I owned an E46 M3 manual. I've had tons of 3 Series E46s. Then I bought a diesel 5 Series, and it broke my heart twice. The fuel pump goes. The entire fuel system is garbage. $22,000. They warrantied it. 2 weeks later, it happened again, out of warranty, and that killed it for me at BMW.
But not all BMWs are bad.
I'm not saying they are bad, but it broke my heart. I can't trust it now.
That's a shame, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, we've got time for one more question. Is there? No? Yes?
Hi again, Dave.
Hi.
Quick question for you. You do a lot. We only see a very small percentage of what happens on YouTube. But can you tell us a little bit more about your day-to-day schedule and networking? Because we don't get to see that.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I would say doing what we do at the scale is the hardest I've ever worked. Because when you watch the video, it looks like just a day in the life. Oh, I went for a drive. But so much of it is planning. So much of it is boring stuff, insurance problems. Like all of a sudden, the other day they dropped the insurance on our 1-ton Dodge Ram. Like, oh, we won't insure it anymore. So it's a dumb problem, but it's a problem. So a lot of the time, I would say, I'll back it up for a second. Every day, it's a call from an accountant and then a lawyer. There's a copyright lawyer. There's litigation attorneys, immigration attorney, because I have to go to the U.S., tax accountant. So really, it's boring, and that's why I don't film that. Sometimes I'll film it for the Stories channel, but some things we can't show just for legal reasons. But a lot of it is just running a big company with employees, right? We have a whole merch business. But it's a lot of Zoom calls. It's a lot of structure and organization, but it's really boring. I'd love to outsource it, but we run a company. There's some things that you can't outsource. We've tried. Oh, yeah, someone's in charge of this, but when you have a vision for what you're trying to do, especially Damon, who's really creative, typically the way we'll work together is that I have a corporate background, so I can put it into play, but he'll have the crazy idea. I'm like, okay, cool. How can we actually do that? Like the building, the Hoonigan building, great example. He's like, hey, let's get this building. And I was like, cool. I'm like, okay, I'll figure that out. So then it's realtors, lawyers, the lease is this thick, and every page has a detail that's really important. The last building, I didn't do that. The last building got screwed on because I didn't have an exit clause in case there's a problem with the city. But now I do.
Are you going to stop there? 2 years is not very long to be in that building.
Yeah, great question. I mean, it's really expensive. It is a huge financial commitment. But we have a vision as far as really building that car community I mentioned earlier, as far as like making that like the Mecca in Los Angeles to bring people together. So it won't just be like the HQ where we build cars. It's being more about you know, the history of DDE. So when you come there, I want it to feel like not a store, but like you can feel the culture of the brand. There's on the wall, it's an experience. You'll want to grab a coffee and hang out and explore and learn. We're also going to make it way more open to people. So rather than having just the merch area, we're going to have a section where you can actually go and see the cars. And we'll have cars that you can sit in. Rather than having them stanchioned and roped off, like, it's daily driven exotics for a reason. Like, these cars are meant to be used and abused. So if you want to come sit in a car, if you want to come experience things like that, we're trying to make it in a way where you can actually go in the back lot and watch cars do things. California is really hard because it's the #1 liability state. So once we figure out the legal stuff, we're going to open it up.
One last one for you.
Gotcha.
The Bentley.
Ooh, the Bentley.
The Bentley. Is it going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
We want to know here.
So it's way more complicated than I thought. So originally, I was going to do like a mid-build on it, some aero and things like that, but it's all air tanks and all that. We can't do that. I have to do the full kit. But when I bought the Bentley, we also got the building that cost $500,000 up front to rent. So it really bled out some of the revenue for things that I thought would make sense. Now, it's not that we don't have the money to build it right now, but we have to look at what is the best runway for content. So the car will be down for a year. Like, it's not going to be quick. I thought it'd be quick. I thought, oh, yeah, just bolt it on. No. It's a big thing. And we've learned that with the F12, with the 720. And we don't want the cars to take this long. Damon's impatient. Damon's a child. He wants to drive the car. He doesn't want to play games and watch it get built. I want to drive it right now, which is why he gets in the car and revs them right away and breaks them. So we don't want to be down. We want it to be quick. The Bentley's going to be a long project. It's going to happen. It's just not going to happen right away because there's other things I want to do now with the same money we've got that are more beneficial to the brand and the audience. So in the meantime, it has nitrous oxide. It's getting a flame tuned by Gintani. I told Alex 6 feet. Make it dumb. He's like, I won't run efficient. I don't care. I want big flames. I have a livery I'm working on. I might have some gold chrome on it. If you like the gold chrome. And AL13 built some wheels. So it is going to have a little bit of a intro build. Now, when it's built, I think I should ship it here to the UK and drive the Bentley back where it came from, bring it to the factory and get their thoughts and get banned from the property.
That sounds like a plan. That sounds
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dave.
Amazing questions. All right. That was going to be the last question, but the young legend Hussein has stepped forward with something very important.
Hey.
What happened to the guy that broke the Lamborghini SVJ's windows?
Oh, man, he's going for the real question. So if you guys aren't familiar, Damon was driving down the road one day. Someone got mad and had a little argument, and someone hit the windshield with a sledgehammer. First things first, young man, don't ever do that. It's a bad idea. So right now, the update is this. It's all going to discovery, and then it's going to be a deposition. So the gentleman involved will meet with a lawyer who asks him a lot of hard questions. They tried to get a gag order, which means we can't air it. But in that video, one of the men says, put this on YouTube. So the judge saw that and said, well, you wanted it on YouTube when it happened, and denied the order. So there'll be a deposition, and then as long as that all happens, and it takes forever. Like in California, the average lawsuit's 4 to 5 years. So when it happens, it might just be on YouTube. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, Hussein, and thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Final question. Sorry, are you doing the hill climb today?
I will be a passenger holding the camera because I don't have a car here. And I have a rule. If I can't afford to replace it, I'm not going to drive it. But what I want to do for you guys on my camera is get in as many cars as possible and experience the terror in real time.
What time? Yep. Oh, what time? Very important
I
question.
don't know.
At some point.
What I'll do is I'll just stand on the side and be like, hey, can I get right up the hill and just hitchhike?
Amazing. All right, listen, Dave will be at the back doing a meet and greet.
Let's do it.
You got time for that? Amazing. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, his time is very precious, and he spent it with us. We
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you very much. Can we make some noise for Dave from DDE?